Kayla. Thank you so much for meeting me again. So it's been a week since we last met, so I just want to go over the data that we talked about.
Okay.
Remember, we talked about taking frequency data. So every day, Monday through Friday of this week, you were supposed to tally how many times your student engaged in blurting or interrupting behaviors, okay?
Yeah.
So just by looking at the data, I'm just going to look real quick. I can see that we have some numbers that are close to the ones that you told me last week. Some of them are a little higher.
Yes.
Some of them are lower, almost by half. So that's interesting. Looks like he did 25 times interrupt about 25 times on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go over the highest numbers.
Okay.
21 times on Wednesday and 19 on Tuesday. Then Thursday was 11, which is about half of what you told me. And Friday was 15. Did you notice any patterns in the behavior, like antecedents? Like, thank you so much. You took notes here on the data. So on Monday, for example, you can add to this, but I'm just going to read your notes. You said that the students come back from school that weekend. So maybe they're a little tired. They come from having fun on the weekend.
Yeah.
And they have to come back to class. So have you noticed that generally most of your students are like that?
Yes. Most of my students tend to be like that after the weekend, they kind of are still in the weekend mode, basically, on Monday.
I think we all are kind of too, right?
Yeah.
We all have to come back from that. On Tuesday, he had 19. And you said that you worked on a Brown Bear book, which was fun for him. So is that why you think maybe we had less problem behavior?
I think that's the reason why, because it wasn't just me talking. It was them actually being able to color, being able to work with, we actually use cutouts.
Okay.
So they're able to, paste it on their paper, and then they have to practice reading it. So they like assignments like that.
On the day that it was 21, on Wednesday, there was a math lesson that was longer.
Yeah, so sometimes the lessons are longer, more worksheets. With the math, there's a lot of things that we have to do sometimes, depending on the lesson. So sometimes there's shorter lessons, sometimes there's longer lessons in math. Sometimes there's just review.
So more work.
Yeah, so that day there was more work.
And then he still had to do some work on Thursday, but it was a half day, so we only had 11 times.
Yeah, and then you have to remember that they still go to lunch and they still go to recess, so it was less time in the actual classroom that day.
And then Friday, 15 times. You put here that they get extra recess.
Yeah, so usually on Friday. Yeah.
Extra recess. Rainbow fish project.
Yeah, so
Was that fun?
yeah, that was fun for them. So it wasn't me, them having to sit on the carpet, having to listen as I explain,
Right.
So they were working more on the project, the rainbow fish project. So they really enjoyed that.
So it seems like the days like Monday, Wednesday, you have more like longer lessons.
Yeah.
It's just more work for them.
Mhm.
So typically that's when you'll see more interrupting behaviors.
Yes.
Okay. What about you? Like, if you think about it, like, students are kind of in weekend mode,
Mhm.
but sometimes as teachers, maybe, or as adults, we are too. Right? And you come back and you get the student interrupting, and we're like, don't do this, don't do that, right? Like,
Yeah.
we're also kind of like that. Do you notice that about yourself as a teacher?
Yeah, I noticed I'm still kind of like maybe a little sleepier. Like, let's say I stayed up later, I went out of town, and I got back late.
Okay. So also a little bit of you too reacting to certain behaviors.
Could be, but I feel like generally that students tend to be more disruptive on Mondays.
Okay. So it's not just our student right now. So I just want to get. I just want to know what you think the reason is that he interrupts so much.
I feel that the reason he interrupts so much is, I think it's because of his lack of going to school. He had never been to school. And then besides that, I feel maybe at home there's no rules, there's no discipline. Maybe yeah, I feel like it's that. It's mostly like what happens at home sometimes. I feel like he doesn't get no discipline at home, or maybe there's no rules, so they just let him do whatever he wants.
Okay. So lack of prerequisite skills, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the skill to be able to do some of the work that you're asking him to do. So therefore he's just sitting there waiting for someone to help him, and in the meantime he engages in that behavior. And when he does it, he gets attention too, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's bad attention, it's still attention, right? So that could be one of the things that's maintaining the behavior, right? Getting that attention. Also, just like no rules at home, right? At school, you can just break all the rules, and there isn't really a consequence. Well, there's a consequence, but it's not something that's changing the behavior, right? It's just the behavior's still there.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not decreasing it. So what I want to talk about is what we can do about antecedents.
Okay.
Right. So right now the antecedents are being given assignments, right? Having to wait. Is there something we can do about that in your class? Like, for example, a strategy we can use is kind of priming him. And by priming, what I mean is you prepare him for what's coming. You know that you're going to have to help other students.
Yeah.
And that he's going to have to wait. So you use the PIN system, right? We talked about it last week. It's kind of like a token economy. There's a way that you can kind of say, hey, Johnny, let's say his name is, if you do nice waiting while I'm helping other students, you'll get an extra star or 2 stars, right? And that could motivate him, right? He could wait, and as he's waiting for you, even if you're not done with the other student, you can say, you know what, I like how you're waiting and you're not interrupting. We might not even mention that he's not interrupting. Just mention, good job waiting quietly and using inside voice. Blah, blah, blah. You get a star. Right? Good job. So you're praising the appropriate behavior, right? And no longer giving attention for the problem behavior. So the stars could be helpful, right?
Okay.
So priming him and letting him know, hey, you're going to be waiting for me to help you for a little bit, but if you wait nicely and quietly, then I'll give you extra stars or extra pins. That could motivate him. If he even likes the pins. Have you noticed if he likes the pins? The pin system?
I've noticed that he does.
Okay.
Because I actually, when I move it up, I'll be like, okay, good job.
Yeah.
You know, your clothespin's moving up, and he smiles.
Right.
So he understands that he's doing fine, and sometimes he'll even ask me, at the end of the day, you know, did I do good? Was I behaving well?
Okay. And you know, if that weren't reinforcing for him, maybe what you could do is reinforcing would just mean like something that motivates him to continue doing what he should be doing. If that weren't something that would motivate him, maybe like, hey, like pencils. You know, a lot of kids like the pencils with like heroes and cartoons and stuff. You could say, hey, if you've done really well today, at the end of the day, I'll give you a pencil and an eraser or something like a little ball or something to motivate him, right?
Yeah.
Because he might need that extra motivation. So that's something I'd like to do. The antecedent would be you prepping him for waiting, because he is going to wait no matter what, because you have a lot of students. There's nothing you can do, right? He's going to have to wait. But you can find a way to make waiting worthwhile.
Okay.
Right? Like if he waits, he gets. And
something.
Waits nice,
yeah.
He gets something So I want you to try this.
Okay.
I want you to try priming him when he's waiting, right? And then I'd like you to continue tallying
Okay.
the behaviors, because we're going to try this strategy or intervention where you are going to prepare him for what's coming and let him know that he will get something in exchange for acting appropriately, right? And you have to define the appropriate behavior, right? You can't just say, if you're good, right? Because that's just too vague. Like, what does good mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you ask him, are you good? He might say yes, even though you know it's not true. So we want to really define what you're expecting. I want you to sit nicely with hands on desk while you wait for teacher to get to you and help you.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Using our inside voice, like defining exactly what you expect. Because it wouldn't be fair to say being good, because maybe he needs that clearly defined.
Yeah.
Because he's a kid, he's like in kindergarten. Maybe at home the definition of good is different, right? So we want to be really specific with what you expect him to do.
Okay.
You're going to continue to tally, and we'll check in 2 weeks. We'll check in 2 weeks to see how everything is going, if this strategy is helping.
All right.
If it does help, then we'll just continue to do it, right? Continue to work with it. Maybe you'll need to change the reinforcers, like the little toys he gets. Maybe you can add extra things like, oh, awesome job, high five, you're so awesome. So giving verbal praises for appropriate behavior. Okay?
Okay.
So again, just to go over, we're going to try priming.
Okay.
So preparing him for what's going to happen. You're going to have to wait, but if you wait nicely, you'll get this and that. You'll get more pins. You'll get little toys at the end of the day. Erasers, pencils. And you're going to continue to tally this over 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, we'll meet back on September 28th to go over the data.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you so much, Kayla. I hope this works out.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.